on your Twitter thing to Greg here, and he noticed that. Like, seems. I mean, that's just good.
It's a hard thing to say too. It doesn't really roll off the tongue. I don't run that group. I'm just a part of it.
Right.
So.
Well, mass transit, also a pun, and you should know Corey loves puns. They're like his favorite thing. So
there you go.
All right, we are live on Facebook, and it'll take a minute or two for our audience to catch up with us, because they hang on our every word, and they're never on YouTube unless we're on YouTube. So it'll be a minute or two. So while we're waiting, I'm going to go ahead and share back to our Facebook platform.
And just for context and posterity, we've been going through the COVID pandemic now for a few months. We were on it relatively early, and we were really, really excited to see people take to the initial lockdown. And now, because of just a tremendous, ridiculous lack of anything resembling national leadership, we're going to have at least another swell, if not another peak, and this one's going to be a lot bigger. A lot of places opening up now. Just hearing last night that Montgomery's hospitalization rate is basically at 100%. Like they're maxed out for ventilators in Montgomery,
in Alabama. Yeah.
And that's just the beginning, right? I mean, over the weekend we saw all sorts of places that are packed out, and bars where people are yelling at each other from across the room, which apparently is a really, really good way to spread this. And there's a lot of uncertainty. We don't really know what's going on, but we know that that from a governmental point of view, we can't really trust them to do anything right. It's going to be hodgepodge. There's going to be states that get it right. There's going to be a lot of states that don't, and we all just kind of have to live with the consequences. So when I saw Aaron on Twitter just doing work to get masks out to people, I just instantaneously didn't think about it. Said, please come on the show and just let everybody know about what you're doing, because I want to focus on the helpers, because at the end of the day, there's a lot more good people trying their best than there are assholes in the White House. Even though that
and a high ratio too, a really high.
I was going to
ratio.
say the number of assholes in the White House is close to 100%, but there's still way more cool people outside of it.
It's true enough.
A pure numbers point of view.
True enough.
So that's good. So Aaron, thanks for coming on. If you could maybe just tell us a little bit about yourself and about what you're doing.
Yeah. I live in northern Michigan, and my sister works in the hospital up here, the local hospital. And when all of this started going down, there was a really concerning lack of PPE in the hospital. So I started making masks to give to the hospital to help them. And ultimately, they stopped taking cloth masks, but my Seamstresses for Safety, we kept making them and giving them to the community. We started giving them to nursing homes, clinics, and that kind of thing. And then I started making them for people online. And so people just message me and I send them a mask if they want.
All right. So our second guest has joined us here. Is Parth Trivedi. Is that correct pronunciation?
Very close. Trivedi.
Okay.
Yes.
Trivedi. Okay. Morning, Parth. Welcome to Hashtag Coffee on the So Local Live Network. I'm Corey Cottrell, and that's Corey Cottrell. That's
Thanks
Corey
for having
Cottrell.
me, guys.
I just forgot how to change my name on the screen. So I'm Greg. It's nice to meet you.
Greg.
And you are with what's the name of your organization? Let me make sure I get that right. You are Mask Transit.
Mask Transit, exactly.
Thank you for the pun. Thank you for the pun. I love punny things, and so does Corey. But Corey's mad for puns. Really mad. Super mad.
Literally angry.
They make him angry. It's hilarious.
I don't know if you've ever been to New York City, but the logo is actually taken from a combination of subway train symbols.
Nice.
So that's how we came up with the name. We're like, how do we make this clever? How do we make it catchy? Keep people working with us, hopefully. Maybe that's not what keeps them coming, but we like to think the aesthetics are part of it.
Right. So balancing out Corey's hatred for puns is his love of all things Andrew Yang. So you wore the absolute appropriate hat for our show today. Hey, look at that. Now I know. Now I know how Corey found you guys. All right. So Aaron told us a little bit about. Erin told us a little about herself and how she got involved in this part. Do you want to do the same thing? Tell us, what do you do? Where are you? How did you get involved in providing this important, critical service for people?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm a medical student myself. And so what I noticed was after we'd fixed some of the issues in New York with getting doctors the right amount of PPE, there was still a big need to get masks in the hands of people, especially when you look at the idea that some people have more access or means to things than others. And we're like, well, not everyone has the same amount of information. A lot of people are still going to work and they don't necessarily know where they can buy a mask or how to make one for themselves. So we started thinking of ways that we could get them to our frontline workers who aren't, our essential workers who aren't healthcare workers. Because the healthcare folks did at some point get better access, but the cloth masks, and with the Governor Andrew Cuomo mandating that everyone should have one when they go out, we figured we have to do something for our community and get things moving, make things happen.
So who is the target for your mask distribution? Who are the people that you're working the hardest to get masks to?
It's a combination of people who are essential workers, like folks who work for the MTA. We've done a big donation to NJ Transit, working with a group out in New Jersey, but also a lot of folks who are served by medical student-run free clinics. So they serve uninsured populations, and also working with food pantries to help out the now many not only unemployed folks, but also they've been traditionally helping out a lot of homeless folks, which, as you can imagine, has always been an issue in large cities like New York. So sort of broad reaching, but certainly working with community partners has been a major part of the effort.
Beautiful. Erin, so you make masks? Do you have a cadre? Locally, we have the people I know is like 12 of them that are all throwing together for materials and making masks. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah. Yeah, I buy most of my own materials, but I get a lot of donations from Yang Gang for shipping. So I just and I source my materials very cheaply. I get deals on them. So, and then I have a few friends that are in Seamstresses for Safety, and we'd all kind of team up to like my friend Shannon, we're doing a project with Parth to get 250 masks to one of the clinics downstate at Wayne State. So that's how we're working. So we kind of share materials and stuff.
Right on. So how many people are involved in your seamstressing effort?
There's quite a few in the group, and I'm not sure, I couldn't tell you exactly how many people are in our group, but directly I work with like 4
Nice.
that help me specifically. Yeah.
All right. How are you keeping safe? Because there's got to be some contact to get things done. How are you keeping safe when you're doing the work?
We use a Dropbox system, so we don't have personal contact with people. We all have drop boxes outside our house, and we just notify someone. We'll bring them, the materials over, drop them in the Dropbox, and then we always wear masks as well.
All right. Parth, same question. How are you keeping safe? I mean, your group is having probably more contact with vectors, with places where there is transmission going on. How are you handling all that?
So all of our students who are taking masks on, I should highlight the fact that we have a lot of community partners that help us sew masks, and then we pair them with educational material we came up with and distribute them to the community partners that our medical students already have in place. So people like Erin are the ones making this happen, and a lot of groups work in the same way as Erin's team does, which is they'll do Dropbox drop-offs for us. So we have some set up nearby our either dormitories or hospitals, and also people mailing them to us directly by FedEx or something of the sort. And when we go to make drop-offs, there is some degree of contact, you're correct. So for example, go into a food pantry to make a drop-off, try to do as much social distancing as possible, wearing a mask ourselves, and asking really that we don't work too much in enclosed spaces. So asking people to come outside to do a pickup.
Right. Our local friends who are working in homeless outreach, this is yet another stressor for them, yet another place where, they feel the weight of what's happening. Our homeless community here, they don't really know what's going on. You know, it's not like they don't have any access to information, but they certainly have less access to information. So when you go out to a location where you've shown up every month for a year to distribute needed items, which is one of the things that our friends do, first of all, they don't know that they need to be more careful about your safety, and they also don't know why they might need a mask. So they're finding themselves having to explain, you know, what the calculation is and why masks make them safer. And it's hard work. In fact, the group that I know that does this usually does it with 3 or 4 other volunteers once a month. They didn't take any volunteers with them this time because they felt like, no, the 2 of us will take the risk, and if we get sick, then the rest of you will still be safe, or at least safe-ish to continue to do the work. It's a really hard calculation, and I'm really I'm proud of having folks in my life that are doing that. And it's nice to know it's not just happening where I live, right? I get the feeling that this is happening in a lot of places. Do you share that?
I do see that myself, because what I've really learned is that as our organization, Mask Transit, tries to reach out to different students at different schools, people have their own outfits and activities going on. So they're still providing, medical students actually came up with telemedicine models entirely on their own to continue providing free care, which is wild because you already have students who are taking time out of their days and their study schedules to go into clinic and provide free care, but now they're also setting up entirely on
like
platforms
a framework,
like Zoom. Yeah, it's just a lot of creativity and go-getting. That entrepreneurial spirit that draws us all to Andrew Yang is full on in display by our medical student community. I also wanted to just reemphasize something that you said about the need for getting good education out there. That's a big part of what mass transit is about, is not just let's take masks from people like Erin and put them in the hands of some of our most vulnerable members of our communities, but also we pair them with educational material, which has been the big contribution of our own group, because the masks, like I said, are coming from elsewhere. So it'd be kind of cheesy to claim credit for something you barely even do. But the educational materials contain information on both COVID itself and also safe mask use. So just trying to keep people informed, because you're absolutely correct. There is a barrier to getting information to different groups and different populations.
I'm glad I brought it up then. I'm glad I'm not alone. Okay, Corey, what do you got?
Yeah, no, one thing that brings up for me is just again, we talked about it a little bit on the jump, just to give some context, but the messaging coming from the White House primarily, but even the CDC isn't always consistent. And like most specifically from the White House, like that, they're the guys literally, Trump is making fun of people that are wearing masks. He literally tried to tell a reporter to take his mask off so he could hear him better. He's standing right next to him. And so it just, that to me, just it amplifies my respect and admiration and gratitude for the kind of work that you guys are doing. Because again, like, it would be all too easy just to get completely and totally lost to frustration and despair. But instead you're like, no, fuck it. We're going to make some masks and then we're going to educate people because, we can't wait for the dummies to do it. So thank you. It's basically all I'm saying.
Sure.
So do you guys want to give some shout outs to people that are making your efforts possible? How about Erin? Who, do you want to,
Sure.
finger gun somebody that you think is critical to the effort that you're making?
Did you just say finger gun?
Finger guns for sure. Yeah, shout out. That's what it's automatic. Like, can I use your phone? Can I borrow a light?
Sure. Yeah. No, I love all these
Shout
phrases from the 80s.
Well, I'm old, so fuck off. Yeah, go ahead, Erin. Tell us who you want to brag on.
Yeah, well, one of the people that I'm working with most closely, I didn't get permission to use her last name, so I'm just going to let you know that Shannon is a seamstress. She actually provided 200 masks to the University of Michigan that she's sewed all by herself. And she's just been critical to what I've been doing and working with Parth. She's doing a whole bunch for the new project. So I couldn't have done all of my masks handing out without her. Shannon is awesome. I hope she watches it. And then the Yang Gang has been donating. So they've been giving a lot of donations going towards postage, which is pretty expensive. It's way more expensive than actually each mask. So shout out to the Yang Gang. Hashtag
Wonderful.
Yang 2024.
Okay, how about it, Parth? Anybody you want to brag on while I'm making the finger guns sign there?
Absolutely. So first of all, we have a pretty large team, and unfortunately, since we're operated by a bunch of students, I haven't been able to update our website as often as possible, but you can check out everyone's name on www.masstransit.org. But some big names are our founder, Aishwarya Raja. She's a student here at Mount Sinai with me, and she's the one who came up with the original idea for the work that we do. Another big person in our effort is Raji Piata. She's over in Boston. She's sort of the main director of all our efforts in that other major nexus outside of New York City. And last one is Kirtana Kasi, and she has been helping me contact all these schools around the country. So
Nice.
I'm just setting up those phone calls, and it works very similarly to sort of the way you would imagine the contacting Erin worked. So, stumbled into on Twitter. We stumble into groups on Facebook. It's just people liking each other on Insta and through different social networks. And it's like, hey, we got a team over in Michigan. Can we make some magic happen? So it's a completely distributed effort. And I have to shout out Erin herself, because she really helped us get off the ground and running over in a state that we have no business being in, sitting in New York. So
all right, so we've got a link up for masstransit.org in case anybody is motivated from our audience to donate to that effort. How about it, Erin? Do you have a link we can give folks so that if they want to donate supplies or postage to you, they can do so?
Yeah, well, it's just Venmo, so it's not really legit, but it's my Twitter hashtag Luminator24.
Okay. Luminator, like
yeah.
Luminator.
Okay. LOOMINATOR.
Oh, Luminator. Oh, yeah, it's another pun, Corey.
Fuck off.
It's a Luminator 24 on the Twitter machine.
On Venmo, you said?
Yeah.
Erin, okay.
Donate by Venmo. Okay,
Venmo,
very good.
Yeah.
Yep, got it.
And if any mask sewers are listening right now, all our educational materials are up on the website completely free. Just print them at home and you'd be ready to go. So,
awesome.
If you want us to customize them, you can totally hit us up for that too. But everything is open source.
So we have a local bookstore. A great pair of friends, Tammy and Joan Hepsworth, run our local used bookstore. Which, by the way, they are a brick and mortar bookstore in our community, and they're also like this community hub for activism and all sorts of other great stuff. And she's distributing free masks to everybody that walks through the door. Like if you come in to buy books, Joni is giving masks out. And I have a super spiffy Tampa Bay Lightning hockey, the hockey team mask. But I wanted to know: are you seeing businesses that are doing? Are you having this experience where businesses are not involved in this, or are they where you are? Because we're a little disappointed that our business community here in Central Florida has been very reopen everything. Masks are tyranny. Are you experiencing that, or are you seeing something different?
In Michigan, it's like there's a big split. Half our town is for masks and trying to be responsible, and the other half is, tyranny and doesn't want to infringe their freedoms with the mask. But we have Renee's quilt shop up here. She's been sewing free masks for anyone that asks for one. She donates them to nursing homes, and she also gives discounts to any sewers that are making masks for donation. So she's been awesome. So we have a big community of people that are pro-mask, and then some that are anti-mask. It's kind of funny. There's a big split.
Parth, are you seeing some participation from businesses?
I certainly am. We have a local grocery shop that we shop at. It's an Italian specialty grocery shop, actually. And my parents like going there, and they've been giving out masks and Purell when you come through the door to all the different customers that come by, which is amazing to see, just a group of local people do that. In New York City itself, I don't know if you've heard about this, but Bill de Blasio is trying to get somewhere around 7 million masks handed out through the Parks Service free of charge. I believe it's 3 million reusable ones and 4 million disposable ones.
Wow.
So there's a big effort. The main concern is that the first time when they piloted it with about, I think it was 100,000 masks, they all went to like rich neighborhoods and people sitting like by their Upper East Side apartments in Central Park, you know, like that doesn't really help. They already had masks. They're just going to hoard a couple extra.
Right.
So that's why we still need people like Aaron and some of the folks working with us who are going to go and give them to the communities that need this the most. Because I think they're sitting fine in their Upper East Side apartments, you know, Fifth Avenue. It's great to help everyone, but we have to be cognizant of who needs the most help.
Right. Well, this is a beautiful thing. Corey, your instincts were really good. This is a guest shot that's making me feel better about things. So we like it when that happens. So we don't always get that.
No.
No. We're often like, this guest is not helping me feel better about things.
Well, no, and I mean, like you have to have a co-host in me that is like literally the worst at pep talks in the world. I'm fucking terrible at pep talks right now. So yeah, no, thank you guys very, very much for coming on and for everything that you do. And if you ever have any updates or anything that you want us to share out to people, you just let us know, and we'll get it out to people for sure.
And by the way, feel free to, you know, if you can stand the F-bomb that I dropped mid-show, feel free to share this out, you know, and let people know what you're doing in other platforms. That's fine with us. We have no problem with that. So
thank you.
Never mind the F-bombs. Please excuse the 80s finger gun reference. Although for the record, I'm stealing that. Like I'm going to be using it myself now. I just want to, for sure.
Just an opportunity for mockery, whatever. Whatever.
Yeah, that's actually the tagline for our show. Just an opportunity.
We rarely miss one. We're pretty good at scoping those out. So, exactly. All right. Well, thank you so much for all the work you guys are doing. It's pretty amazing, and it makes me very happy to know that there are people out there. You know, locally, I know a few, but it's nice to know that everywhere. A lot of people's first instinct was, you know, how can I help? How can I help? And it's the Fred Rogers method, right? Fred Rogers told us, look for the helpers, and here we are looking for helpers and finding them pretty much everywhere we look. So thank you guys for everything you're doing. It's meaningful, and I'm not going to cry on the internet today. It's not. I will cry on the internet, but today is not that day.
Yeah, thanks so much for having us and highlighting all the different efforts going on around the country. I'm also really happy and a little more optimistic than when I first logged into the call to hear that things in a distributed manner around the country are really
and
cohesive.
As you guys come into contact, sorry, Parth, as you guys come into contact with more helpers, if you accidentally wanted to send all of them to me and to us, that would be okay. Because like honestly, like I want to spend the rest of my time during this. Because like we're not like at a complaining about it at a government level. Like we're a political show, so like we're gonna have to yeah, Trump's still a fucking dummy. Like that's the show now. But I want to spend as much time as humanly possible just focusing on the people that are actually doing shit that doesn't suck. Like you guys are doing really, really amazing work. And I'm proud that I got to connect with you guys and amplify what you guys are, even if it's a tiny little bit, right? Like we're not a huge show, but yeah, thank you guys for everything.
Oh, the other thing is, by the way, P.S. we don't spend an hour every 3 days a week just saying Trump's a dummy, right? The other thing that's in play is we're a gaslight shelter because lots of people are out there on the street being told that a lot of the things they're observing and seeing and know are not true. And we're sort of a gaslight shelter. We want to make sure we know that he really said that. And yes, you really should not be taking hydrochloroquine. And, it's like we feel like, that's our best use of our time right now is making sure people feel safe and sane, or as safe and as sane as possible. And we didn't expect this. Like we didn't think this was going to, now everybody's got a Zoom show. We were the first kids on our block, damn it. We were doing Zoom shows before anybody thought it was necessary. But the good news for that was I was able to roll out, I work in a counseling office with my mom, who's our clinical director. And like 2 weeks before all this broke, she was exposed to somebody that had really, really bad flu symptoms. And we're like, well, we can't keep doing that, So as the minute the balloon went up on Florida, stay-at-home orders, I was ready to move us to Zoom. Like that day, I knew everything we needed to do to get, so we're still doing clinical contacting groups for mental health counseling via Zoom chat. And it's way better. I don't want to say it's better, but it's working. And and we're feeling like we made the right move at the right time. And now my mom, who's always like, you still using fax machines, she's like, maybe we should just do all of our stuff on Zoom forever. I was like, yeah, What a good idea. So we're moving that ball a little bit. And I think it's changed how a lot of us look at how we do things. Like, just this, you can still be social and socializing and talking to people about important things without having to go to their house or to a studio location. So that's been a good lesson for all of us. So what else we got, Corey? We got what do we want to talk about? Anything else?
That's all I got today. I wanted to talk to these guys, or rather have them talk to us.
Yeah.
And now I just want to be like, yeah, we're not entirely doomed. Nailed it.
Now I just want to cruise towards the 4:30 launch of the Crew Dragon capsule,
right?
our crewed spaceflight return. And I've been saying manned spaceflight since the 70s because I'm old, but now crewed. This is a crewed mission, not a manned mission. Is how they're referring to that. So welcome to the 21st century, Greg. All right, guys. Thank you very much, and you're free to go. We're probably going to kibitz on about dumb stuff for another 10 or 15 minutes. So
that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
Be sure to touch base if I have any new news. Thanks for having us again.
All right. Thanks
Thank
a lot,
you so much.
Thank you so much, Aaron.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having us.
Thanks, guys. Do I need? Yeah, there you go. And do I need to remove Aaron? Or there she goes. All right.
She's good.
Man, they actually knew how to work the Zoom thing.
Yeah, I think almost everyone does now. It's like a thing, like whatever. If we got Zoom is the thing we do.
Yeah, no. 4:30 is the scheduled launch time and has been for several weeks. So, yep, that's the expected time of launch.
Dave is on a crewed mission too, because apparently he likes to make puns.
Yes,
Funny guy.
Yeah. So, 4:30, we're gonna do another live stream. You gonna be up for that?
Yeah, I think we should.
All right. Just so you know, what's the 2 p.m. thing? I have no idea what you're talking about. But 2 p.m. thing. Launch is scheduled for 4:30. However, both NASA and SpaceX are starting their live coverage on the internet at noon. So you'll get to watch like 4 hours of the rocket standing there with steam coming off of it. With vapor coming off of it.
Like you do.
Exactly what I will do. Good thing I have multiple screens platforming on because I want to watch both SpaceX and NASA feeds and continue to do dumb stuff on the internet.
Time. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, I'm definitely up for that. My back will be entirely iced, and I will be ready to stand here for however long that we want to stand here.
Yeah.
How long is it supposed to take them to get to the ISS? Do you know?
They'll dock tomorrow.
Oh shit, for a while then.
Yeah, so by noon tomorrow they're gonna go live for the docking and the opening of the hatch, and there's gonna be a little ceremony.
Yeah.
The last shuttle crew took a flag up, their small flag, and posted it right by the docking bay door. There are docking bays or docking collars for American-made spacecraft and others because their designs are slightly different. So right over the American spacecraft docking port, they put a flag. And the understanding was that the next crew up would take the flag back to Earth. So they're going to take that flag back down and present it to them. So it's ready to go back to, I'm not crying, you're crying. I can see it. I can see it working on you.
Now I'm good.
Yeah. By the way, both of these astronauts, Bob and Doug, which is maybe the best. That's how awesome. Did that happen? But not only are both of them astronauts, both of their spouses are astronauts as well. And,
holy shit.
And Hurley, I believe, piloted the last space shuttle that went to the space station. So this is his second mission, and he's last in, first out. So that's pretty
awesome.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So we should probably talk about. JD just brought up. Did y'all see the 45 doesn't understand the First Amendment? It claims Twitter is censoring him because of fact checks.
Yeah. Well, I've explained to several dozen of his constituents they're not being censored by a private enterprise.
They don't understand that's the thing. It's a private company, and honestly, they should kick him the fuck off. Exactly the way that they did to Bolsonaro, which I didn't know about until 2 days ago.
How is this the first fact check they've ever put on his posts?
Because they're terrified of this, and cowards.
Yeah, I would tell them, go ahead and switch it off, Mr. President. Go down to the little control room where you have access to all those tools and shut it down. Go ahead.
And Jack Dorsey, the head of Twitter, founder as well, right?
Yep.
He's not an idiot. What he should be doing is forcing his hand. Fucking sue us. Let's have this fight. You know what I mean? Now the problem is it's going to establish under law that their editorial and they're responsible for everything that's on their platform, and that'll include Facebook and YouTube as well. And they're terrified of that, right? Because that makes them liable across all sorts of spectrums in a way they haven't been before. They basically want to, both make gazillions of dollars and not be the town square. If you're the town square, then you're okay. Anybody can do whatever they want and you're fine, but that's not what they are, right? So, I think this is a fight that absolutely should happen. And Trump will completely and totally lose, but at the same time, actual regulation will end up, getting clamped down on the social media platforms, which I think is a really good idea.
Oh, I know what Kathy's doing. I'm seriously considering leaving at noon. Dave's asking, leaving where, Kathy? America? No, she's thinking of leaving, going to the Cape. And I wish I could. I have a group this evening, so I would be in the car with you if I thought that was a possibility for me today, because we were going to go, but our friend, somebody who comments sometimes on our page, I don't see him on our video feed very often, Phil Beckelheimer, that I went to high school with. He's actually a range safety director at Kennedy Space Center, and I had messaged him in early April about, hey, can you get us a parking pass somewhere cool? And they're not issuing them, so you would have to be on one of the public roads or public beaches. Still cool, you can see it. I don't know. I bet there's going to be a lot of people. NASA's asking people not to go, right? NASA has said, no, please don't, watch from home. And I understand but I also understand the impulse to get in your car and drive across the state and go watch it, because why the fuck not? It's cool stuff. Yeah. Dave Myers, I would leave America at noon if I had the resources. I left once. Nothing got better while I was gone. Well, things got slightly better. It took 7 years while I was gone, but we elected Barack Obama president of the United States. So that was good. But, this opting out didn't make America better. And I was gone for Charlie. I was gone for Katrina. I was gone for a whole bunch of shit that I wish I'd been here for. So I'm probably not going to do that again, unless it's necessary. So there. I'm
not making that promise.
Oh, I know. You got a fallback country. It's easy for you.
I do. I got to have start. But I kind of want to I don't even want to go to Canada. I just want to get a sailboat and then go. I don't know.
Swim out past the breakers and watch the world die, as the as the song would tell us.
Yeah. Anyway. Kathy, thank you for that. She's donating platelets.
Yeah, of course she is. I'm only sort of half listening because I'm feeding starving children.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
that's
exactly.
Kathy Brinkman. That's why we shout. That's why we say Kathy Brinkman whenever we see her, because she's always doing something great for our
because
community.
Mother Teresa doesn't really ring the same way.
Plus, you'd probably scare her into a heart attack.
That's true.
Anyway. All right. So let's get on with our day, man. Let's go. I feel charged up, and I don't know what I'm going to do with that, but I'm certainly going to enjoy it.
Go do it. Thank you for running point on that interview as well. You were totally on the fucking ball.
It's not my first day. Hey, by the way, we are gonna live stream the launch thing, but we're gonna do it on Facebook, not on YouTube. And the reason is we can't show video. We can't screen share a video from here without getting in trouble. So we're gonna do it on Facebook, where we can share the NASA feed or probably the SpaceX feed. Wouldn't you think? I mean, they're doing,
or even honestly, maybe even everyday astronaut
heavy lifting today. So that's probably.
We might want to, depending on what everyday astronaut's doing. I think he's out there, so he might also have a telescopic lens to add to it. But we'll maybe keep both feeds open and check them both out. Because he'll definitely have telemetry and all that stuff too. Just because that's what he's awesome for that. Do you want to maybe start at 4?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's plan on 4:00 start on our Facebook page, so Local Live Network, and we'll probably get a lot more viewers and people that are like, "Oh, hey, where you guys been?" And we'll be like, "Well, we post every day where we've been," and stuff like that there. So please throw us a like and please share this show, because it's a way for people to see some hope in our process with COVID, and get those folks some exposure that they probably really need at this point. Although they seem to be doing okay.
Yeah, but I mean, we're still fighting an uphill battle. So the more that we can do, so that'd be good. Oh, that's awesome.
Sue's getting interviewed by the Tampa Bay Times today about staying home. Yeah.
Keep us posted about that.
Yeah. Yeah, we wouldn't mind to mention, I keep myself sane by watching hashtag coffee every day on YouTube. I'd do it for you.
All right.
All right, man. That's going to do it for hashtag coffee again. We're back 4 o'clock this afternoon on Facebook to cover the launch of the it's demo test 2. It has a very sexy name.
Yeah, that was not not well.
Just like naming
done.
his children, Elon Musk seems to be.
But like, do you want to be? That's the thing. Like, do you want to be the people on the demo test too? Like,
yes, yeah,
no?
100%. Yes, I do.
All right.
So they call you up and say, Corey, we need a guitar player with absolutely no engineering skill. You're gonna say no?
I will not say that.
Right.
I will say yes.
Right. So
times a zillion.
Yeah. So that's happening today and then we're back on Friday with Science Friday. Where now tomorrow, do you want to? If we find the time of day, and I have it somewhere here, do you want to cover the docking?
Yeah. Yeah. Let's. That's
here it is. Here it is. Thursday. 11:39 a.m. is docking time tomorrow.
Okay.
I've got the day open on Thursday.
Yeah, me too.
Good.
Let's do it.
So, and then they're not going to open the hatch till 1 p.m. So maybe we'll just, I don't know, 2:25 welcome ceremony. I don't know. We'll jump on tomorrow midday and probably cover that as well. So, that's the plan. And Science Friday, and I got some cool stuff for Science Friday this week too. So,
okay.
They found a giant group of woolly mammoths that all died at the same time. So the excavation project of that site is pretty cool. So I got that and a few other things.
Okay.
All right, guys, we love you very much. We thank you for joining us, and we thank you for your support of the folks that do good work that we see in our community. Throw us a like and a share, and we'll be back at 4 o'clock on Facebook. We love you very much. Sasquatch is real. Bye.